Hello, everyone. My name is Brendan Moore. That noise you're hearing is my ventilator. Welcome to A Thousand Generations, presented by Page Turners They Were Not My Star Wars podcast. We've got a couple of exciting Star Wars projects coming out next year in 2026. But the one that I wanted to focus on is the next animated series, which is Maul Shadow Lord. This will be the story of Darth Maul during those years between Order 66 and his appearance on Rebels. So, in about 19 BBY, so before the Battle of Yavin, Ahsoka and Captain Rex captured Maul on the planet Mandalore. While they were transporting him to prison, Order 66 happened. This gave Maul the moment to escape, which he does. We then do not see him again until the events of Solo, a Star Wars story. So, in those 9 years between Order 66 and Solo, Maul had somehow become the leader of the criminal organization Crimson Dawn. Hera replaced Dragon Boss as one of Maul's top lieutenants after she killed Dragon Boss. And as we saw at the end of Solo, he tells her to report to him on Dathomir, which is his home planet. And that is the last that we see of Maul until about 3 BBY, 7 years later, when he meets Ezra on Malachor. So the question then becomes, what part of Maul's story are we going to see? I think that the official news is that it will take place sometime after Order 66. So I imagine that we'll be seeing him rise to the power as the leader of Crimson Dawn. In terms of the details there, we don't really know. I mean, we do know from Solo that Crimson Dawn continuously marauded the planet of Savareen, which is where Enfys Nest is from. Now, the idea of getting more Enfys Nest is exciting, but also maybe seeing how Maul founded Crimson Dawn, his relationship with Dryden Voss, and possibly his relationship with Kira. A lot of fans have wondered, and I do too, that sometime after Solo, Kira betrayed Maul, took over Crimson Dawn, and somehow exiled Maul on Malachor. I don't know if that part of the story will be in this Maul Shadow Lord series. But as far as the Maul Shadow Lord, there's not a lot of information that I have read deep into. Other than Maul will have an apprentice, Darth Talon, who is a character from the old Legends comics, is a red-skinned female Twi'lek. How that relationship is going to go, we'll see. Apparently, George Lucas himself, when he wrote out a few ideas for the sequel trilogy, had imagined Darth Maul with Darth Talon. So, as often happens in Star Wars, old ideas getting recycled into new and interesting ways. Um, I really don't have a lot of predictions for the show because I just want to go in and be surprised. Sam Witwer, who plays Darth Maul, the voice actor behind Maul, I have met him twice. He is a wonderful man and a true, true nerd. And what he was able to do with the character was nothing short of miraculous. And I remember when it was announced many, many years ago that Maul would be returning and not be dead. Like a lot of fans, I thought that's the dumbest idea ever. Obviously, the Clone Wars, Rebels, and Sam Witwer have proven me wrong very much. As far as where this Maul Shadow Lord story is gonna go, I don't know. If there is an opportunity to get more Lady Kira, sign me up. I don't know if they can get Emilia Clarke to do the voice. It would be really nice if they could. Um, it would be really, really exciting. But I don't know if they will. But if they can get the character in there, that'd be kind of neat. I mean, it would be the ideal dream. I agree with Ken Knapsack on this. To have Emilia Clarke return to live action someday as Kira in another Star Wars story. Whether or not she would voice the character in animation, I don't know. Now, whether or not Kira shows up in the series at all, I don't know. But I am interested to see how Maul creates Crimson Dawn, how it all fits together, and maybe even getting more Enfys Nest during the early days of her fighting back against Crimson Dawn is a distinct possibility. And I know that we have gotten an awful lot of storytelling between Revenge of the Sith and A New Hope. And at first, I was a little bit bummed about yet another series in that time period. But if we're looking at an exploration of the underworld of Star Wars during the time of the Empire, that's interesting. Because we know that the Empire rather turned a blind eye and let the criminal syndicates do whatever they wanted. So it would be very, very interesting to see where they go with this. Now, could they get Paul Bettany to voice Dryden Boss again? That'd be kind of cool if they could. As far as I am fascinated by this Darth Talon character, and it'd be interesting to see who they get to play her. But I have very, very much enjoyed the storytelling with Darth Maul, particularly with the great Sam Witwer doing his voice. And I'm just fascinated to see where they go from here. I don't want to overly predict what we're going to see because I want to go in and just be completely surprised. And it looks like we'll be getting that series starting next year. 2026 might be a big year for Star Wars. Because we'll be getting The Mandalorian and Grogu. Finally, a return to theaters for Star Wars. Ahsoka Season 2, which I'm very excited about. And Maul Shadow Lord. I believe we're also getting the Star Wars Visions, The Ninth Jedi miniseries next year as well. In addition to whatever else they have coming, as far as comics and novels. And video games. I don't know when the next Jedi Fallen Order game comes out. But needless to say, we're gearing up for a big year in Star Wars. Followed by yet another big year in 2027. It's Star Wars Celebration LA and Star Wars Starfighter. And Maul Shadow Lord is just one exciting piece in further Star Wars storytelling that I cannot wait to see. Those are my thoughts. My name is Brendan Meyer, that noise you hear is my ventilator. Thank you for tuning in to 1,000 Generations, where we talked about Maul Shadow Lord. Presented by Page Turners They Were Not, my Star Wars podcast. May the Force be with you.